Hey, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. We've got a bit of a head scratcher today, kind of a kind of an off the wall situation, brought to us by the new normal, as people constantly say now. Um, there's been a rash of folks who go into work. They've been called back to work in person, and they're vaccinated. Their coworkers are vaccinated. There's proof of vaccinations all around, and they'll get to their cubicle, their office, whatever, and one of their coworkers will say, "Hey, put your mask on." And the individual's like, "Well, the employer said if we're vaccinated, we don't need to wear the mask anymore." And the coworker says, "I don't care. Put the mask on." Uh, and then the question becomes, okay, so that's not your supervisor, right? That's just a coworker. That's a peer. What do you do? How do you respond? Clearly, this is a touchy situation because one, you do want to be respectful of people, and people are extraordinarily afraid. Just the bombardment of the media and the fear for month after month after month has left a lot of people's brains legitimately fried. Like, they're just not doing well, and they're terrified. Legitimately, like, this is not them being a jerk. I mean, some of them are trying to be powerful and exert, like, I can tell you what to do, right? There's definitely those bad actors out there, but most of them, these men, these women, these everything, these non-binary, everyone, are suffering from very legitimate fear, um, that is harmful to them. It's difficult for them, right? So what do you say when they're like, "Put your mask on"? Your first reaction might be like, "Calm down." But of course, what have we learned? We've learned from however many years we've been on this earth that when you tell a human being to calm down, there is only one response. They become less calm, 100% of the time. So resist that urge, right? No, you can never tell someone to calm down. What you should possibly consider doing is saying, "Hey, if you have a disability or religious accommodation that makes you unable to get the vaccine or makes you need something extra, you should definitely take that up with the employer." They may not appreciate that, but that is probably the best answer. If they don't have an accommodation of some kind, if they don't actually, I mean, if they're vaccinated and there's no medical issues or religious issues, there's nothing going on here. It's just they want you to wear a mask. I would just say avoid the altercation, right? Because you can be fired for the altercation no matter who started it. So avoid the altercation. Just be really polite and kind and be like, "Hey, I think you need to follow the science. The directives from the employer and the CDC matter, and those are what I'm going to be guided by. And your personal feelings here that are not tied to any kind of disability or accommodation or a religious requirement where you can't get the vaccine, anything like that, those are things you should take up with the employer. Those are not things to take up with me. It is not appropriate for you to tell me what to do. You are not my supervisor, and I'm going to go ahead and end this conversation. I'm not going to argue with you. I understand you have a different perspective. Many people have different perspectives during this pandemic, and that is absolutely something you should take up with the employer, and I will follow whatever directive the employer gives me, right? That is 100% the best answer, in my opinion, right? Now, listen, does that mean the other person is not going to lose his or her mind? Some guy getting hysterical on you, screaming at you, "Put the mask on or else, ah!" No, it doesn't mean that. People are really, really not well these days, and I would say if you're allowed to record in your workplace and someone's accosting you like this, you might want to just click on the audio recording on your phone, if it's legal in your jurisdiction, right? Because these people, they're scared, they're upset, they're unpredictable. They feel like they're cornered. They feel like cornered rats. They think they're going to die even though they have the vaccine. And they really do believe that, right? That makes a human being super dangerous and super unpredictable. And you need to be safe at work. You need to not have someone start an altercation with you and have you get fired for that altercation. So what I would say is, if you're allowed to in your workplace and under the laws of your jurisdiction, if somebody stays at it and keeps trying to start an altercation with you and refuses to go to the employer or the supervisor, like you say, yes, I think you should probably record further interactions with this person, and you should probably take that recording to a supervisor, to HR, and just be like, hey, this person is getting really aggressive with me, and I'll do whatever you say, employer. Mask, no mask, vaccine. I got the vaccine because like it's we're good. You tell me what to do, I'll do it. I just don't want this heat from this person, my coworker, right? So can you please take care of it? They're concerning me. And I think that's probably the response that's best suited to protect your job, to be respectful of other people's potential accommodations that they need. And if they don't need accommodations, but they just have fear or they're being irrational or whatever it is, that's got to be dealt with too. And you got to give it some respect. They are very afraid. And that makes them dangerous. Good luck out there, everyone. Stay safe from the pandemic and from the people terrified of the pandemic. And I hope this video helps someone. Good luck.